time to stop, look, and listen in our divine appointment here tonight on another episode of Calling All Angels Hotline. I'm Sandra. So honored, so excited, and so revved up tonight I can hardly sit in my seat. Tonight on Calling All Angels Hotline, we are featuring and premiering for the very first time the Celestine Prophecy Movie. And I am honored and privileged to have my supreme team here tonight. We have Elizabeth Lord in the director's seat. We have Joseph Lawrence in doing our audio. We have Rod. We have John. We have Chad. And we have an audience here tonight who just happened to come to this place tonight to share bits and pieces of the movie, to share information, and to be open to you, our audience tonight, who is calling in on the #1 access station in the entire nation. That's right here. And I misremembered to mention, we have next to me a spontaneous guest, Miss Crystal. How are you, Crystal?
Good, how are you?
Good. You didn't think that you would be co-hosting the show tonight, did you?
No.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I am. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You are, I see. It's
Are you
all
ready?
over. And I love your smile.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming at the last moment. And
Thank you.
And were you called to come here?
Yesterday, but I thought there'd be more people, but
More people?
This is good.
Well, guess what?
This is good.
There's angels in the seen and unseen.
Amen.
So they're all here. And we're all here. We're going to celebrate the love that is inside and out of this movie, the information, our audience. And if you're watching for the first time tonight, the number to call in to Calling All Angels Hotline is area code 260-422-3902. We love to hear from you, all of your insights and your inspirations about what we're talking about. And we're just going to unfold this one full hour right here, right now. And so, in a few moments, we're going to have a drop-in of the first clipping of the Celestine Prophecy Movie in the making. And while they're getting that ready, I'm going to share with you that Fort Wayne, Indiana was one of 2 chosen cities to feature this upcoming movie. Did you know that?
I didn't know it. In Indianapolis?
Yes.
Is that the other one?
Yes. And the movie will be premiering in April.
In April.
And it's only
Early
March.
April.
Yes, yes. So that's coming up, and we're going to give you more information where you can call and inquire and make your arrangements and get your seat saved. And as soon as I get the cue, we're going to get that first video clip of the making of the movie. Let me tell you that this movie was taken from the Celestine Prophecy book. And that book, in 1996, for 5 straight years in a row, took a worldwide record. Yes, millions of people of all religions, all religions and organizations read that book. So I understand our director has the drop-in ready. Let's sit back, stay centered, and watch this movie in the making.
Elizabeth, no sound.
That looks just like you think it would.
We need to hear this TV in here.
The book, The Celestine Prophecy, was just a phenomenon that took off. I realized that the reason it took off is because so many people adopted it as an expression of the spiritual experiences that they were already having. And I always thought while I was writing it, this needs to be a movie. We would hear it from people. Hey, this is so visual, this book. It needs to be a movie. So Obviously, with that kind of bestseller, we had lots of offers from major studios to make it into a movie. But, you know, it just never seemed right. It wasn't until I actually sat down and took a year to write a screenplay myself that it really began to unfold, that you could feel the energy opening for this to become a movie.
About 12 years ago, James and I began working on the self-published edition of the Celestine Prophecy. And we traveled across country and we talked a little bit about, wouldn't it be really neat if we made a movie out of this one day, or a movie were made out of it? And so 12 years later, here we are.
This phrase, Barvuta Bozim Maita.
What does it mean?
It means roughly to amplify. I thought it referred just to one person giving energy to another. But now there's something more.
I reconnected with Barnett Bain, producer of What Dreams May Come, and suddenly things began to happen.
Through the years, from time to time, we would cross paths. And I'd always say, James, I want to do the Celestine Prophecy. And he'd say to me, yeah, you and just about everybody else. And one day, I got a call from James. And he said, well, I'm ready to do the Celestine Prophecy. We sat down. We talked it through. James had done a screenplay. We worked together for close to a year on and off, refining it and honing it. We went through another 5, 6, 7 drafts, and here we are.
B. Barker! Action!
Cut. We found producer Terry Collis, a wizard at getting things done.
Talking with James on the telephone, you could see the passion that he had for the movie and the vision that he had for the movie. And once I read the script, and after 2 or 3 conversations with him, then I realized that I really wanted to do the movie.
Then I reconnected with Beverly Cammey, my old friend who's a producer.
I just kept watching this kind of Hollywood drama unfold and realized that most of the pursuers were just really looking to buy a brand or buy a title or buy a bestseller. And James Redfield must have intuited the same thing, because he didn't sell out to anybody. And then we were introduced, and there was just a connection.
And Lee Frank.
And we found Armand Mastriani, our director, and he came in and we all began to really discuss this vision of how this screenplay can become a movie.
I knew that this was really a parable. This wasn't a regular movie. This wasn't a story. This wasn't a drama the way you would shoot, you know, any other film. This was something that had a very specific message and a philosophy. And I said, well, wow, I want to do this. This is my challenge. Make this into a film.
Camera speed. C mark. Action! Now I don't know what to think.
Welcome to Peru.
We did pre-production for a year, you know, plan these scenes and plan the, you know, the costuming and refine the screenplay, and then suddenly it was the time for the first shoot. All of a sudden, this army showed up, trucks full of lights and generators, and yeah, I've been on sets before, but it was just something special. I wondered, well, how am I going to adjust to not being a solitary mind on this, you know? And what happened was that everybody who played a part, you know, they're following their intuitions, and they spoke up in many times just at the right time to shift a scene, to shift a line. I got chills and very nostalgic about, you know, not just the characters in the books coming alive, but, you know, the lines that I'd written suddenly coming to life, and that's magic.
We went to this place called Vicente, and I met a priest there. His name is Father Jose. He's also an archaeologist. He told me about some scrolls that he had discovered a few years ago.
What kind of scrolls?
Ancient writings. No one knows who wrote them. It's a prophecy.
Obviously, in a film, we have to show these insights, which means the characters have to come alive in the actors that we have, so that they show how they develop and move through these insights during the course of the movie. We wanted actors that related to all of this, you know, that were on a spiritual journey of their own. And it was very hard to order that, you know, to try to find an agency that handled those kind of people, because it doesn't happen. So we just were open and we were patient, and the actors all came to us.
The actors all came to us. Crystal, you're an actress here in Fort Wayne, aren't you?
Yes, and in Warren, Indiana.
What do you have to say about this so far? About stepping into the scene here tonight, everything's in place. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's awesome. I remember reading this when I was younger and learning about coincidences and the synchronicity, and it seems like every time I'm with you, we have perfect synchronicity together. So,
well,
this is a nice
coincidentally,
experience.
Crystal, if you remember the Access Vision, and I have to say this because 4 years ago when this all started for me, it wasn't coincident that it would reflect the One World vision of Access. And so every episode of this show completely unfolds just like that did with the movie. And I can say, I read the book too, I don't know how many years ago, but I remember resonating with the journey that they took to find some of the insights. I gave you a listing of some of the insights that I got from the website. Mm-hmm. What was the first insight on there?
Discovering the deep meaning behind the synchronicities and the meaningful coincidences in our lives. After reaching a mass, it's what's called a critical mass. After reaching a critical mass in consciousness where we begin to ask, then we begin to realize and notice the synchronicities in our lives and the patterns.
And then what happens?
And then we become more aware of a deeper meaning, and we begin to go on a journey from domination to love is a good way to explain it. We go from a journey from dominating one another through bullying each other from our energy, and instead we tap into the greater source of love that is flowing through everything, and then we become love eventually. And the ultimate goal is to resonate at the highest vibration possible, going from energy to energy. And
so it's all about love, ultimately,
Amen.
and learning to give love and receive it
love
all the time, every breath, constantly, instantly, and finding the lifestyle that we want. Yeah. Did we have a caller back there? No caller. Thank you. Thank you. And so, by the way, if you're just tuning in tonight to another one full hour, the number here is 422-3902 at the hotline here in Access Studio, Fort Wayne. And we're talking about the making of the Celestine Prophecy movie. I'm here tonight with Crystal as a co-host, and I'm very honored to be premiering this making of the movie that's coming out. That I'm so excited because I see the major transformation, and I see so much of the mass consciousness that's already here and activated and living.
Yeah.
It's really making life worth living. And guess what? We have a phone call. Hello.
Sandra. How you doing, Sandra? Hello?
Hello.
Hear me? Can you hear me right now?
Yes. Thank you
Also,
for
I apologize,
calling.
but how you doing, Miss Sandra?
How are you?
Fine.
Who am I speaking with tonight?
Oh, Angelo Strother.
Angelo?
Yes, ma'am.
You have an angel name.
Yeah, thank you. I like that, though.
Yes. So you're just tuning in for the first time?
Oh, yeah, I'm just watching the show, enjoying it. I just flick through the channels, just look at what's on TV pretty much, and I just came upon your show, so check it out.
Yeah.
See what your book was about, because I love to read books. So.
Well, Angelo, please let me tell you, this book is not mine.
Yeah.
This book was written by James Redfield.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was a world's bestseller for 5 years, starting back in 1996.
Yeah.
And there was a movie that was made, and it's coming out next month, and that's what we're here showing tonight, the making of the movie.
All right.
Did you have a question?
Well, I was just wondering which library or branch should I pick the book up or the movie, because I really wanted to, learn more about it. I'm interested. So.
Oh, well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the Allen County Public Library does have this book, and pardon me, I didn't check before I came in the studio tonight. This is my own personal copy. And if you continue to stay with us for the 1 full hour, we're going to be showing more clips and about the movie, and so you can understand what the book and the movie is all about.
Great, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have any more questions?
Well, let me see. I had one for a minute, but if I do, I guess I'll call you back. But I watch the clips and read up on it, go to the library and stuff. So.
Oh, good.
Questions? I guess I'll call you.
Well, thank you so much for calling tonight, Angelo, and stand by because we have another clip that we're going to show you, okay? Here it comes. This is fun.
Life where I was faithless, and I felt like I had all the answers. And then about a year ago, there was a restoration of faith in my life. And so I began this spiritual journey, and
This is fun.
Do I seem really stiff? Or
what I'm going through in my personal life is very similar to what John Woodson, the character, is going through.
I speak to
yeah, this is fun.
Barnett, and he says, hey, you know what, man? He said, they came to me and said, this guy, Baba Batunde, wants to do this project. And he said, why? I know who he is, but why? He hasn't even seen the script. He said, because that's the way he walks. He said, he's in the movie.
Miguel? Who's that man over there on the other side of the table?
Jensen. He's an archaeologist.
Well, I think he's a pretty interesting character, actually, and I like the way it's written and what he does and what he says, and this is somebody who's dealing with matters we are not quite familiar with to begin with, and what we find out more and more. But this guy is nobody like, let's say, exactly CIA or FBI or some of the secret services from a foreign country, but he is one of those.
Do your part, and you'll get what you want.
Very tight on the A. A-only marker.
And action. Actor played Cardinal Sebastian. At the discovery of the scrolls, he had to represent and make sure that the church survived whatever coup, whatever political occurrences happened on his watch.
Don't lecture me about theology. Only God creates, not us.
He feels quite threatened that the institution is being questioned in a way. He doesn't quite understand what this quest is. And the quest, of course, is really a quiet, personal, insightful quest. He's trying to protect certain documents. He is trying to protect the institution of the church. It feels threatened, and he's the man at the gates.
I think Julia is, she's kind of a fixture, a cornerstone of the movie and of the message of the movie, in that she's a woman who has devoted her adult life to transcribing the Aramaic scrolls, and also devoted her life to embodying the insights, learning what they are, and practicing them.
I think, Marjorie, this is something that she's been studying for about a year. And, you know, at a year, you're still a novice at anything. And so there's this constant pull between knowing what her higher self is doing and is thinking, and still reacting from that very instinctive, intuitive, reflexive place of fear and of all the baggage and the lower self. And so there's a really interesting oscillation for her, sometimes within a line, sometimes within a scene of, I'm centered, I'm focused, I know who I am, and I'm totally freaking out, which is so much fun to play.
You are not making this easy on me.
That's one truth.
I am doing the best I can, but God knows I don't have it all figured out yet.
You can start by calming down.
I can be a little hard-edged sometimes.
And then you have the Father Sanchez character, who is, again, someone who's very rooted, very centered, very much involved with the teachings and the prophecy, and is able to impart the necessary elements of it to John.
You're talking about love, aren't you?
Yes. Giving is the secret to keeping yourself connected. Because your energy, your love, builds up in you first as it flows out to others.
Sanchez is one of the most involved with the prophecies. Has been finding them, has been looking for the ninth for a long time. He's been studying them for a long time.
Thomas.
Talk about love. Oh my goodness. To hear her talk about being centered and freaking out, I can identify with that. Yeah. What are you thinking about this so far, Crystal?
I'm just remembering a lot about this story, and I just think it's really amazing to see it come alive and to give characters to the people and see the scenes that I've read so many times being played out. And
well, you know, it's interesting as you're sitting here seeing what you're seeing, that's only within you at the same time. And guess what? We have another phone call.
Oh, good.
Hello, caller.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, Sandra. It's
Who's
Angelo again.
Angelo, how are you doing again?
Oh, good. I seen, you know, I looked at it. I was like, I like it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm here in Fort Wayne. I'm down here somewhere from St. Louis, and my grandma, she's from St. Louis too, and we go to St. Mary's, so we're spiritual, we're Catholic. So I was like, I really need to read this book because I love to read. So.
Good. It's calling you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a gift to me. So I was just like, I looked at it, I checked it out, I liked what I see, and I was just gonna ask you if it wasn't a problem if, you know, if I could get your phone number so I can call you sometime and ask upon these things like this, because I really like the show now.
Well, we're going to have information at the end of the show. The website, the AngelsAtGodCentralStation website. We're going to have the Celestine website address for you that you can connect with them directly. But right here, right now, I want you to pay attention to what you're feeling in your own spiritual experience that you're having and your connectedness with this, so you can continue to take that leap of faith and keep growing. And meanwhile, thanks again for calling us tonight.
Appreciate it, but I really like your book, so I think I'm going to go get it. I might enjoy it.
Okay.
All right.
Call them. They'll reserve it here at the Allen County Public Library.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay. Thanks. Boy, I love this library. I just love coming here. Yeah. There's so much. Where were we, Crystal?
We were talking about the clip and how it's a reflection, how what we see is a reflection of how we're feeling on the inside, that we're projecting our dreams onto the movie itself. So.
I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the actors that were in this movie. We were looking at Matthew, who is John Woodson, the main character in the movie. What did you have to say about him?
That his character in the movie, his control drama, was aloof. He was quiet and would not answer people's questions and was making up these little paranoia conspiracies in his head without even really realizing it. On a subconscious level, he would get tense or just resistant to people asking him questions and not even really know why himself. And then as he goes on his journey and just watches the way that he's relating to people. He realizes that he's doing that. He kind of watches his own thoughts, and he realizes that he has a suspicious feeling, and he just wonders why. And that's how he discovers that his control trauma is to be aloof.
He gets woke up real quick, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
Nice
I
scene.
could identify with that when I read the book, and I know I will identify and practice that as a disciple. And guess what? We have another phone call.
Oh, good.
This is great. Keep calling tonight. Hello, phone call. Hello, caller.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Oh, yes, this is Sandra, and I'm calling to just say a little bit about what I feel about this movie that's coming out.
Thank you for calling tonight.
Excuse me?
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. You're on, caller. We're listening to you.
Thank you.
Still on?
Oh.
Wow.
That's
I don't know what
okay.
happened. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. Anyway, it's a good thing, and we hope that they call back and please feel comfortable to share that sacred space with us. So we were talking about the actors, the main character, John Woodson, and some of the other characters that we saw here tonight. John just finished something with Steven Spielberg and in DreamWorks, and he played in The Divine Secrets of Yaya Sisterhood.
That's a very well-known book. That's a very good book for young women and for the
Yes.
girl experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Will, he was best known to United States audiences for his critically acclaimed portrayal of the compassionate Nazi officer in Roman Polanski's Academy Award-winning The Pianist. Yes. And so many other things like King Kong, and he just played so many other drama heads in the Clouds, and he starred with Penelope Cruz. And guess what? Our phone call's back again.
How you doing, Sandra? I didn't mean to bother you again, but
Angelo, how can we assist you?
no, I was just wondering, was you gonna be at the library tomorrow? Because I wanted to come up there so you can help me find the book. Because I'm not from around here, like I said, and I would probably need help finding the book.
Angelo, here's a secret.
Yeah.
There's a woman. Her name is Diana. She works at the information desk. When you first come in the library, you can't miss her. She sits behind that oval table. If you go over to her and you ask her for this book and tell her that I sent you, I know that she will help you.
All right.
She's an angel, just like you.
I was also wondering if I came up there, you know what I'm saying? If I came up there, would it be likely for me to get the video too, if that was cool, if y'all had it?
What video are you talking about?
That y'all was talking about?
The movie?
Yeah.
The movie hasn't come out yet.
Oh, I'm just casual, so I'm just learning. My bad.
That's good. That's good. We appreciate your call. We appreciate you asking and stepping out again.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would like to, for everybody else, you know what I'm saying, that call in, I like to apologize on their behalf for just,
Oh,
yeah.
Angelo,
Yeah.
it's okay.
I know. I
There-
just, you know what I'm saying, I just looked at your face and looked like you was feeling bad. I know what it feels like that every day I go through it. You know what I'm saying? Just
What's that?
problems, you know what I'm saying? Just got kicked out the house. Parents don't want me, you know what I'm saying? But I clean up every day, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Good.
Feed everybody breakfast and wake my brothers up, you know what I'm saying, like that. And everybody just thinking I'm a bad person. So I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm at my friend's house right now, but I just don't know.
Well, you're on the right path, Angelo.
Yeah.
And again, we appreciate you staying connected because there's more information in this show that'll help you. And as soon as you can, come down, and maybe you'll find something more valuable when you continue to read the book. Okay? Again, thanks so much for calling. We need to show more of this making of the movie tonight, okay?
Always on there, I will be watching.
Angelo, we love you.
I love you too.
Thanks for calling.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
And so we were talking about some of the characters. That was so sweet. That was so brave, so brave. And more people out there, when they I know when they watch this and they watch more of movie making and more shows like this, it's a heart connection. It's a heart connection, and that's what binds. Can't escape it. So we were talking about some of the characters and some more of the videos, and we have more drop-ins for you. So sit by. Remember the number, 422-3902. Call us after this clip. We want to hear from you.
Was able to relate to intuition very strongly because he, in his youth, escaped from East Germany, across the Iron Curtain, to the West, very courageously. And what he did was, at a certain point, with police closing in, he had to try to find a way out, and he just used his intuition. He had a hunch to talk to this one person on the street, and that person turned out to be a central cog in the Underground Railroad that got people out of the East into the West.
For me, it's very interesting to play this part because that's how I function, more or less. The danger in my part is that it becomes preachy because the material is there to do that. And this is not will. Will is, these are the options, and you got to figure it out for yourself. I could describe these insights to you right now, and you would hear my words, but you have to do more than that. You have to experience it for yourself. The prophecy has to happen to you.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking about seeing the world, John, the way it really is.
This movie deals with the realities of the spiritual experience. We look at the experiences of intuition, of recognizing these meaningful coincidences in life, and that are bringing us to some recognition of what we need to be doing, what our course of inspired action is.
Do you suppose it was an accident that you came to Peru? That you met Dobson? How did you end up taking that particular flight? Think about it. Why did I see you from my window when I did? You're gonna love this. I was all set to get out of there. I was packed, I was ready, and then I had this strange feeling. I'd forgotten something. That's when you showed up.
The synchronicity is a meaningful coincidence, something that happens that gives me an idea of what I'm supposed to do next with my life. And I have to say that sometimes I will follow those guidances or those thoughts, and in the short run it may look like I've made a mistake, like, oh, why did I feel that way or think that way or say that? And then I may find out later that there's a higher meaning to it. I had to grow through a certain experience, or I had to become a different person in order to live out what that was guiding me toward.
The whole journey has been just full of these coincidences.
We're back again on the set of Calling All Angels Hotline tonight. I'm Sandra. I'm here tonight with Crystal, and we're talking and sharing more information about the upcoming movie, The Celestine Prophecy. And what you just saw was the making of the movie. Before it went on, we were talking a little bit about the actors that are in this movie. Sarah Wayne Callies, who plays Marjorie, she currently stars on Fox TV's Prison Break. Did you know that?
Just recently.
Yes, and there's others too. Annabeth Gish, Julia, who plays President Bartlett's older daughter on NBC's Emmy-winning drama, The West Wing.
That's a really good one.
Yes, it is.
That's very famous.
Yes, and she's played in others like The Mystic Pizza, and she's played with Julia Roberts. Isn't this so exciting that it's all here, right here in our studio tonight? Yeah. And Hector Alonso, he plays the Cardinal Sebastian. We saw a clip about that. Do you remember? What do you think about that?
Honestly, it kind of puts you in the mind state of, well, he's trying to protect the documents. He's trying to cover the documents because he wants to protect the, well, in his eyes, protect the order of the church. And it kind of puts me in the mind state of Hebrew times, of the Hebrews, of them, of the Pharisees and such, kind of being resistant to the new truth that Christ was bringing. That's what it reminds me of a little.
The new truth.
Holding on to the
Christ was
rituals,
bringing.
but they're empty without the heart in it.
Yes.
And God told him, you're worshiping me with these rituals, with these motions, but your heart is so far from me. And Christ brought a new awareness, a new way to see God and through the eyes of love, and called him Father.
Crystal, hold on to that thought. Stay centered in that truth. We have a phone call. Okay, we're ready for the phone call.
Oh, yes.
Hello, caller.
Yes, we're trying to find out some information about this book.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Information about the book, please.
You would like information about the book? The book is The Celestine Prophecy. The author is James Redfield. In 1996, for 5 years, it was a worldwide bestseller. The book can be found here in the Allen County Library. It's been out for a while, and it's been all over the world.
At least 10 years now.
At least 10 years, yeah.
Before they finally made it a movie.
And so, did you have another question about it?
Yes. Do they believe in spiritual help and angels?
Do they believe in spirit? That's an excellent question. To my understanding, to my remembering, I'm sure that they aren't clear about help with angels.
The vibration.
The gyration? Is that what you said?
Vibration.
Migration?
Migration. It's hard for me to hear.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Vibration.
Vibrations.
Vibration.
The vibrations, that's very good.
Higher vibrations?
Yes, the higher vibration of the world.
There is a scene, not a scene, but a part in the book where it talks about people being trapped in their own hell, so to speak, where they didn't even realize that they had died, and what they held on to so strongly in this world that they materially believed to be the truth of them, they continued to live it out and continued their control dramas and their painful addictions for a long, long time. And there were others who were of a higher vibration, who were sort of like angels to them, praying pretty much and like just giving them positive energy and kind of interceding for them, continually giving them light and love so that they could come out of their fog. And some of them were able to come out of that fog and reveal their true selves.
Yes. I think for me, in understanding that, that's a very, very good question. Something that is portrayed throughout this entirety is the consciousness of Christ. And when I think of what would the Christ consciousness be like, what would that be? What thoughts, what words, what actions would it be like to change my world, to change all of these properties within me? And in my own discovery, as everyone is having their own discovery in all of this, is that it's an angelic expression.
Yes.
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 Thank you for sharing that. You helped me release that tonight. Would you like to add something else tonight?
Yes.
And we're listening.
Okay. I also wanted to ask maybe about psychics.
What did you want to know about psychics?
And psychics?
Pardon me?
Do you believe in psychics?
Do I believe in psychics? What would make a difference in your life if I believed in psychics?
You think you're pretty?
Oh. Listen, we're getting off track of the subject here. I appreciate your outreach. I appreciate you calling in tonight. We have a lot of material to cover regarding the Celestine Prophecy making of the movie. Do you have any further questions? Still with us, caller? No? It's time for another drop-in. Ms. Lord, we're ready for you.
Back in the van yesterday from rehearsal, me and Annabeth, from shooting, me and Annabeth. And she'd been singing, I say outstanding all the time. Someone says, you know, it's time for you to go to set, outstanding. And Annabeth had started singing the song Outstanding. And so it was sort of humming in her head all day. And, you know, we looked over each other and laughed about it. And we get in the van, we turn on the radio, and it's playing on the radio. And she's like, this Celestine stuff, man, it's so ridiculous. And I said, yeah, you're right. And she sneezes. And I said, bless you. And the announcer on the radio goes, bless you, isn't that a great song? And we were like, where's James? What on earth is going on? So, you know, there are those moments. And, you know, of course there are those moments. We're shooting the Celestine Prophecy. It has to be that way. It couldn't be any other way.
Bless you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Bless all of you for calling in tonight on the Calling All Angels hotline. That number, if you don't have it, it's 422-3902. I'm Sandra, sitting here with Crystal, and we're talking about the making of the Celestine Prophecy. And before we had our last caller, we were talking about some of the actors that are in this movie. And that gal that we just saw, her name is Sarah Wayne Callies. She plays Marjorie and is currently on Fox Prison Break. Have you heard of that show?
I've never seen it. I've heard about it.
Yeah, I've not seen it either. There's another phone call. And this is wonderful, and we're live here tonight. Hello, phone call? Hello, caller. Thank you for calling us. We're ready and listening to you.
You hear me, something?
Hey there.
How you doing today again? It's Angela.
Angelo, you are an angel.
I just had to call after that rude comment. You know what I'm saying? I just have to. I just don't like to see nobody hurting like that. I hurt every day, so I just had to.
Yes. Angelo, and do you know because you hurt, somebody else hurts too?
Yeah, so I feel bad with them. That's why, you know, I call and I keep helping people out. Like my friend, like I'm at his house right now, like every day I tell him to go get an application. If he don't, then I'll go walk and get one, you know what I'm saying, or bring one to him. So I try to help people out a lot, but nobody seems to show me any love.
Well, you're moving in the right action. Every action is the right action, Angelo. And we have some more material to cover. We appreciate you calling, and with love, we're going to fill in another sacred space with a drop-in here that's all ready to go. So we'll see you soon on another hotline. Thank you for calling. And so, we were talking about another drop-in. I think we do have one. Almost ready? We all ready? We're ready.
Has to convey to the audience
I think that guy's okay.
that we are all composed of energy,
Gives
and
me
that
like
we
a
can
suicide
share
bomb.
energy with other people, and we can experience a positive or negative energy depending on what the other person is giving us.
It says that instead of taking energy from each other, you give it all the time, no matter what, like Father Sanchez is doing. That's the eighth insight.
The nice thing about this movie, I think the really interesting fact about it is that it's not didactic or pedantic. It doesn't teach in a way that, or how about it doesn't preach. It shows characters in action demonstrating their learning of the insights. So it's not holding up an example of perfection and this is what you must follow. It is practicing, and maybe this might work for you too, as we all learn the ropes of it.
That's amazing. That's... Oh, hold on, I lost it.
Here. Try again. A couple of things stand out. First of all, a group of people might walk away from the movie thinking, I'm definitely going to follow synchronicity, or I'm going to research it more, understand it better, talk with my friends about synchronicity.
It relates to your life. It's like you say things, you do things, what makes you think like, right on. That's what I think too, and this is what I try to live to, and this is part of my journey as a human being as well.
What's exciting about this script is the restoration of wonder. You think you know all the answers. Life gets kind of boring. You don't have a lot of faith in things. You don't have a lot of faith in humanity. And then suddenly something comes along and just changes things for you. And suddenly you have a new awareness. There's a new presence in your life. And it's the idea that there may be something out there, a higher force that has a purpose for you. And if you let go, and if you open up, and if you approach life with love, suddenly all of these things start happening in your life. And you start to live a purpose.
Our hope for this movie is that it will become a kind of model, you know, a kind of example, an illustration of going deeper into a lived spirituality, getting back in touch with the mystery of life and the realization that, you know, we are helped. We're not all alone in this world. We can get connected and our lives can go better if we follow our intuitions. We want the movie to have a life like the book, where people adopt it, pass on the word about it, and I believe it's more important now than ever before. If we can just focus on the experience of spirituality, then it takes the edge off all the ideological battles that we see going out there over whose religion is best. Battles that are not verbal, they're violent. And so we hope that people will embrace this as a kind of antidote for what's going on out there. And maybe it's something, as it's released, that we can all go together and feel a kind of unity for a spiritual alternative.
It's not an illusion. It's real. It's the only thing that's real. Trying to control isn't the answer. When we find the true God experience, the fight over whose religion is best, it fades. There's just one truth.
We have 10 minutes left. Finding one truth. Right here, right now, on another episode of Calling All Angels Hotline. What are your thoughts, Crystal?
I was thinking how beautiful it was that we were just talking about one world, one vision, in the spirit of unity. And then he said, once you realize the true God experience, it doesn't matter the fight about religion, whose religion is best. It's all one truth. And it just, that's been, and that was, especially back then, a large part of my journey, to try to see the one truth that runs through everything, through science and religion and us, that love experience, that God consciousness experience.
In the fifth insight, it says that the only solution is to cultivate a personal reconnection with the divine purpose, your soul's purpose, and have that mystical transformation. They're saying maybe you'll have that transformation that will fill you with unlimited energy. and with love that extends to and from everybody with beauty and lifts us into our higher self. Isn't that cool?
It's very nice.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to share the sixth one too while we're here, because I know everyone's out there just can't live without knowing it. The sixth one is in this awareness. It says we can release our own patterns of controlling and discover a specific truth, a mission we are here to share that helps evolve humanity toward this new level of reality. And when I think of that, I think of the personal mission that I received, and I say the suggestive rather than explanatory, where I am to be that catalyst to end spiritual warfares in all nations with the mission and the vision of Angels at God Central Station. And it's just, I'm honored beyond belief, and I think it's even beyond faith at this time too, for me. You were talking about the seventh insight. What does that one say?
In pursuit of this mission, we can discover an inner intuition that shows us where to go and what to do. And if only we make positive interpretations, it brings a flow of coincidences that opens the door to our mission to unfold, for our mission to unfold.
That was a lot. There's a lot of information in this 1 hour. I think I'm going to have to dedicate another episode, a live episode, next month. God just gave me the direction. Yes, next month on Calling All Angels Hotline, we will continue this. Meanwhile, I would like to share with everyone out there that my excitement and pure enthusiasm to Unity Christ Church in Fort Wayne. I call it the fun Fort Wayne, Indiana, because they're going to host this movie and premiere it on April 1st. I have the times right here, but better than, you can call over at Unity Christ Church at 260-482-2477 and make sure that a seat is ready for you to see this show on April 1st and April 2nd. And also, there's one other church in the entire state of Indiana that is premiering this movie, and it's Unity Church in Indianapolis. And I have their number, which is 317-635-4066. And I understand they're having 3 showings down in Indianapolis. And I may just go ahead down there with a camera and see what some of the other people's insights are after seeing the movie.
That would be nice.
Mm-hmm. I'm honored also because on my weekly show, Angels Talk, in our soul relationships, this was also featured, the making of the movie. And be sure you watch Angels Talk this week here at the #1 access station. No, I'm saying maybe you will. Maybe you'll set a VCR. Maybe you'll watch the show. But every show is another divine appointment unfolding. Yeah. And so there's only a few minutes left in this show, and with that, we're going to just about wrap things up to close. I would like to just leave with everyone out there the last and final insight from the Celestine Prophecy movie, and that is, in this way, we participate in the long journey of evolution from the Bing Bang of life's ultimate goal, to energize our bodies generation by generation until we walk into the heaven we can finally see. And that is, to me, God. So it is time to end the show. Would everybody in the studio who came forth today help me? I think you all know how that goes, right? It goes like this. Thank you all again for taking your time to stop, look, and listen in our divine appointment here tonight on another episode of Calling All Angels Hotline. I'm Sandra here with Crystal and the entire outstanding, amazing angel assistants. We're all here to say divine love and holy kisses.